listeners on YouTube, Facebook. We are not on television as yet, but we are on 91.3 and 91.5 FM. This is People First, and as you could tell, is a program sponsored by the government to highlight some of the achievements. I said some because there are so many achievements. And as time goes by, we'll begin to elucidate and tell you more of the achievements. But from time to time, I must pause to not take a swipe, but to contrast, compare and contrast. Although there's nothing to compare, but look at where we came from and where we are at now. And this morning, I'll be a little scattered. I really want to talk about the road works, but I need to put things in context and put it in perspective, because without context, you'll not understand. Now, on Tuesday, I hinted that there are people who say, no, the government has done nothing. There's a caller to, I think, Jaime show on Tuesday. And I'm not sure whether I should have taken his comment seriously. I'm not sure what he was saying. I mean, he was willfully blind, what could have been. Or maybe he was being tongue-in-cheek, trying to get Jaime to focus on the achievements of the government. Either way, it doesn't matter. Because I'm aware that there are a lot of people, still a lot of people, who are willfully blind. And that is concerning. Because sometimes you see, you give them the truth, they see the truth, they hear it, it's hitting them in the face, and they cannot accept the truth. It brings about cognitive dissonance, and they cannot find a way to deal with it, and so they say, I'm yellow and I'm voting yellow. But no, I need to take my time to explain and to show you what it is that the government has done. I think I hinted on Tuesday that when the government of the St. Lucia Labour Party demitted office in 2016, the incoming government found I won't say shovel ready, but 4 projects ready to go. Dr. Anthony and his team, yes, Philip J. was Deputy Prime Minister at the time. They left 4 projects. All that had to be done was to deliver. St. Jude, that's another topic, we will, maybe not today. The administrative center, and now I listened to Calix George last night talking about the water woes. And then you have to ask yourself the wisdom of building a headquarters for Wasco, almost $20-something million, when we have ailing infrastructure. Wouldn't that money have been better spent on upgrading the infrastructure? Wasco now is sadly for huge debt, a loan that they have to pay endless interest on for a building, to me, that was not necessary. You had an administrative center. Let me pause on that. Let me pause here. Dr. Anthony was about to, diversify government services, take it out of Castries and bring it to the south. It's not woulda, coulda, shoulda. It was in the process of happening. But, you see, elections have consequences. So the government changed. And these bright guys came in, and they thought that the administrative center didn't make sense. Now think about that. People in the south, think long and hard about that. An administrative center where you'd have gotten your licenses, vehicle licenses, birth certificates, ID cards, I mean, you name it. All the government services in Castries would have been available in the south. These fellows shelved that, and instead they built a headquarters for Wasco. To do what? Most of us, we pay our bills at Choppy, Wasco bills. We go to the credit union, that's where we pay Wasco bills. We don't go to the headquarters. So what you build that massive structure there, costing, because the preparation works, you had to pay the contractor because you breach of contract, and they bill over $20-something million. To do what? Don't get me wrong, Wasco employees, that's fine. To do what? You did that at the expense of an administrative center. Reckless, ill-conceived, made no sense. So we had that. HIA, Hirono International Airport. And you had the 4-lane highway, Castries to Grosley. So John Compton Highway, so Julian R. Hunt. That's historic, Brothers, two fellas married, two sisters, and you have the highway named after them. Wow, that must be historic. I don't think that has happened anywhere in the world, but great stuff. So John Compton Highway and so Julian Hunt Highway, way up to Grosley, to ease the pressure, the vehicular traffic on mornings. Commute time would be severely cut, maybe in half, perhaps. You'll not have to spend all that time on the highway. And you have 4 lanes, so ease of traversing north-south, south-north. But that again was shelved. Why? Because it was a Kenny Anthony project, a Labour Party project, the brainchild of Dr. Kenny Anthony. The Kuwaitis had already signed off. We had already signed off. The Kuwaitis were on board. And that would have been done. Had we been re-elected in 2016, that all of these things would have been completed, That fallen highway would have been completed. And people asking, where you getting the land? I was so surprised. Anyway, I'll come to that in a while. So every time I go up north and I have to, I don't use the normal route, I use the back roads. But anytime, you're stuck in traffic, you have to be cursing these guys. Because that should have been delivered long ago. And people ask, but why now? But of course, if you mash up, if you destroy your contract, you breach your contract, we come in now in 2021, we have to go back and renegotiate. That takes time. So the UWP fellas asking, oh, why only now? Why couldn't have done? No, it could not have been done because these guys, I believe, were upset. Kenny Anthony and the government negotiated in good faith. And you all destroyed a perfectly legit project. And you gave $50 million to somebody to do papi show. They did not. A man who planted flowers in New York, came to build a road. You understand? Came to build a road. Came to build and you saw the nonsense that is there at present. But thank God. Thank God. You're asking what has been done. Let's roll video 3. This is what has been done and what is going to happen in the future. Video 3.
The government of St. Lucia has successfully secured major financing agreements this week, accelerating plans to transform the vital Northern Corridor Road network. The Ministry of Finance finalized a loan agreement with the OPEC Fund for International Development in Washington, D.C., specifically targeting the Moshi-Grosley Junction Road Expansion Project. Now, this critical 3-kilometer upgrade will convert the current single lane into a dual carriageway, significantly enhancing traffic flow and safety with the addition of 4 new roundabouts and 4 pedestrian bridges. The new financing ties with a wider expansion of the entire Northern Corridor Road network, a project essential for St. Lucia's economic growth and climate resilience. The agreement follows closely on the heels of another major deal signed earlier this week on Monday, October 13th. The accord was secured with the Kuwait Fund for Arab Economic Development and covers extensive roadworks from the Shock Bridge right through the Maris Hill Junction. That segment of the project will also feature widening the road into a dual carriageway, constructing a new roundabout at Maris Hill, and installing climate-resilient drains and culverts. Both agreements, according to the government, were formally signed by the Director of Finance, acting on behalf of the Minister for Finance, setting the stage for the commencement of these long-awaited infrastructure projects.
Yes, my people, that could have been done ever since. Because when 2016, these contracts were in place already. But these guys, reckless as they are, and you heard Titus say it, I will keep repeating it, that these were about to be delivered, but they, in their wisdom, they tore it up. Yeah, somebody saying that they said there's no need for an administrative building because electronics. Then we shouldn't have had Wasco there either, because we do everything on Shopee and on your phones. You even have the Shopee app on your phone. So these UWP fellas always talk nonsense when they're trying to justify the crap that Alan did. But yes, you heard what is about to come down. 4 bridges, right? 4 roundabouts and major works. Of course, it will cause some inconvenience, and I know St. Lucians, you do not like to be inconvenienced. You like Progress, But you want progress to just happen overnight. You don't like the income. Yes. But in the meantime, what has Philip J. Pierre done and the the administration? I have told you already, they're doing a lot of things. So let's roll video 2 to see what is being done. And I'll tell you about my experience on that road last Saturday. Let's go. Video.
On August 21st, 2025, CIE Limited commenced construction of the stretch of road connecting Corinth to Monchy, a transformative infrastructure project scheduled for completion within 16 months. Exactly 2 months into the works, our team visited the site for an update from project manager Savi Kajada.
So far, we're about 50% completed with the project. All major retaining walls have been put in place already, and now we're working on the smaller retaining walls, which we're tying into some of our drainage. We also have to put barriers on top of the larger retaining walls we did earlier. At present, our team is working on more culverts and drainage, and we have also been putting on a first layer of asphalt regulating to help with the dust suppression so that motorists and residents can feel more comfortable for the duration of the project.
In St. Lucia, one of the most common frustrations for motorists is seeing freshly paved roads dug up soon after completion, often due to poor coordination between the Ministry of Infrastructure and the Water and Sewage Company, WASCO. In many cases, aging underground mains fail unexpectedly, forcing emergency excavations. In others, utilities return later to install new connections or replace outdated lines. As CIE undertakes this critical road upgrade, the project highlights the importance of better interagency planning and synchronized scheduling to prevent costly redigging of newly completed roads.
Our collaboration with WASCO will prevent this from happening in the future, as they're working with us at the same speed we're working on this job. So they have their guys here working at very late hours as well, because we're moving very fast on this project. They have not pulled back. They're actually very active on site with us, working at the same speed with us. So I think because of that, they will have infrastructure in and completed once we finish our project as well. So that shouldn't happen.
With just 2 months elapsed and more than half of the heavy earthworks completed, Kajada says the second phase will advance at a slower but more detailed pace.
The rest of the work will take a little bit more time, and it will appear that works have slowed down because the rest of the work is mainly labor intensive, meaning it's mainly drainage and cleaning and edges that's being prepared. So drainage takes a little while in order to form it, prepare it, cast it, and then that will bring us to the end. Once we finish all our drainages and finalize our levels, that will bring us to the end of it. Then we'll give it a final layer of asphalt after that has been completed.
As work continues along the Corinth-Monchy corridor, the project stands as a model of collaboration, precision and efficiency, a blueprint for how infrastructure development and utility coordination can work hand in hand. When completed, this vital roadway will not only ease traffic congestion, but also strengthen connections and safety for all those who travel through St. Lucia's northern communities.
Now, my people, my dear people, Labour, Flabo, my citizens, my countrymen, all of this was part of the Q80 funded Falling project that was signed. The Q80 fund, there was money there to do all the back roads. That road that they are doing. Now, I passed it on Saturday, and my word, I did not even realize there was so much land. I was pleasantly surprised. I took my time to drive, etc., and I was like, miss it. That, in some cases, 3 vehicles can pass. So wide. So, Renault, thank you. Thank you very much, This was part of the agreement, with the Q80s. That road would have been done, that's the VSC Queen Norbert Road. There was a the Rivière Mitan up to Montcito Road. Some of you are afraid of it, the Rameau. That road is well paved. I told you already, that's the road I use mainly when I'm going up north. No traffic. Usually I'm the only one there. Very scenic route. It's, you drive there and it's carpet, etc. All of that should have been done. And these guys, because they could not push their hand in, I'm saying it like that, because they could not agree with that, they cancelled the project. And these are the same guys masquerading as concerned and politicians want to come back, after they did everything they did. They could not bring one investment. You all found investment, and you all, because you all could dilly-dally and do things, you all stopped it. So, ladies and gentlemen, all of that would have been done already. The back roads would have been done first, so that when the roads, when work on the Falling Highway would have started, would have been easy, at least some relief, because the back roads would have been in order. And those people who feel that no, you would have been able to drive on it because they would have been widened, well paved, etc. You just take your time, there would have been no issues. But these guys came in, they have better plans because they're bright. And they gave a man $50 million to do less than a mile of road. And you all see the nonsense that has occurred up there. I mean, even the engineers are asking what it is. What work's going on there will not reduce time or anything. Where are you putting it? One time they put in a roundabout in the entrance of by where Flavor is. The next time it is there. The next time it is there. Madness. They're doing things on the spur of the moment and as you go. That's not how you develop a country. That's not how you implement projects. That's not how you execute projects. But Philip J. Pierre, steady, measured, went back to the drawing board, re-engaged the Kuwaitis and the others. And now, through negotiations, that has been done. Some flubbo try to say, oh, now we're eating roads. You all do not understand the context in which that statement was made. That statement was made during the COVID pandemic, when people were losing their jobs. People needed money because they were losing their jobs. But these guys had already tanked the economy and they had no reserves. And the money that they got for income support, instead of giving it to the people for income support, they took it to do things, roads. But we know they didn't know that because all the roads now they took on credit. Philip J. Pierre is the one paid for it now. So we must ask, that money and those loans and those grants you got for income support, where did these monies go to? Because Philip J. Pierre now is holding the bag. He's prudent. He's paying off on that. What you call the FDCs, finance, thing and whatever. Where did that money go? You gave no income support. So people here with hungry bellies, as Busang, Bo and the True Tones, crying eyes on hungry bellies. They want money to feed themselves. You deprive them of that because one fella who was supposed to be in jail stood up in the house. And what did he say? You think people will give us money to give people money? Heartless, uncharitable, unchristian. That is the context in which the statement was made. People don't eat roads. People were hungry and they needed money. They needed income support. And the monies you all got for income support never reached the pockets of the people. Thank God for Anthony Isaac, or Isaac Anthony, at NIC, who says, nah man, I can't see, because he's a Christian, I can't see my people suffer. And he used NIC's money. He took 1 year off, because that's supposed to deplete in 2015, so 2050, so 2049. And he had to give 3 payments of $500 to ease the burden, because I think people would have exploded. Because nothing was coming in. They were locked down and hungry, empty cupboards, no income. That is the context in which the statement was made. Right now, we can build roads because the people are eating. We have the minimum wage implemented. Civil servants, 13% increase. Civil servants, bonus in December. Retirees, bonus in November. Everywhere people is getting money. Things are running, 4 years of economic growth. So we can afford to feed the people, and we can also, we're walking on chewing gum. So that, what you're coming up there, doesn't hold water. We can do that because the people are eating. There is economic activity. While that is going on, we also have money to build roads. In your case, there was no money. People were crying and hungry bellies. And you took the money instead to do God knows what. Because most of the roads you built, these roads were built on credit. On credit. And now you're all over Mico South. You're renting a Airbnb because everywhere too hot for you. Because you want to tell people you are not one of us. You never did what you're supposed to be. So, thank you, Philip J. Pierre. Our government is working. So, it's back on now. And no, we're not going to lose office anytime soon. So, those roads, we will not give you a chance to mash up the contract again so that you could give out inflated direct awards. You tell me $50 million or 15 for less than a mile of road? Where? Some fellas got rich. I see condos going up in Hill 20, condos going up in Moshi, just behind Stony Hill. You know, a lot of people got rich. You know, you built a box when money to complete St. Jude was there. 80 million spent on St. Jude. A fella collected $2 million for doors. No doors there. People got rich because the treasury was a slush fund for some people. But the road works, and of course we're going to appeal to you to be patient. It's going to take some time. There's going to be inconvenience, but Philip J. we are working. So that is done. Play video one. Let's see Alpha. I played it yesterday, but it's worth repeating. Video one.
The governments of St. Lucia and India have formalized a 5-year agreement to fund quick impact projects across the island. The agreement was established via a Memorandum of Understanding MOU on Tuesday. Under this agreement, India will provide grant assistance for small-scale projects with a cost not exceeding $50,000. Minister for External Affairs Alva Baptiste notes that St. Lucia and India have enjoyed excellent relations over the years in a number of areas. He says that this assistance means that the government does not have to borrow or raise taxes to finance developments.
Today is just another chapter in our relations, signing the quick impact projects. So apart from the significant and large development projects that we have been attending to, these are short impact projects that will inject new life into the business of cooperation and development.
The High Commissioner from the Republic of India to St. Lucia says that the agreement allows for 5 projects in one financial year. The funding is specifically aimed at projects that deliver direct benefits to local communities, emphasizing local ownership and capacity building. Additionally, the grant is designed to accelerate socio-economic development across St. Lucia, with a primary focus on the creation and upgrading of critical physical infrastructure such as roads and social infrastructure like education.
So basically it's a community-driven the programs. How can ensure the community welfare, a smaller infrastructure like projects. So it's not fixed, and it depends on the recipient. In St. Lucia government will decide which area they would like to implement this project.
The agreement is set for 5 years with the option for extension or amendment by mutual consent. For the DBS News.
You see how we are developing the country? No more Madipwete. We passed a budget in April, appropriations bill. It is almost the end of the year. We have not gone to the house to borrow. Let that sink in. The flub of friends who go and clap for crap. Let that sink in. We have not yet gone to borrow. No more Madipwete. You heard that? Short, impactful projects. Signed. You saw the President of the Republic of Labrie there, signing on behalf of St. Lucia with, the Indian government. So these projects, very impactful, right? In every community. And there'll be no Belrose doctrine applied. Because when our government does something, it is for everybody. It is not for a few. We don't look at which communities voted red or yellow or blue. We are all citizens, and what was signed there is for the benefit of us all. That sounds like an NIC ad man. It's for all of us, not for some of us. It's for all of us, not for some of us. This is how this government is working. We are working in the interest of all. And so, when you ask what it is that we are doing, you have to be blind for you not to see. So the road works back on because it was destroyed. Because once demolition man is in the place, everything is destroyed. That's what Alan Shastri does. He demolishes he destroys everything he touches. Everything that comes before him, he destroys. Demolition man. but we are rebuilding slowly but surely. So St. Jude's will be delivered. I'll talk about that maybe next week, etc., etc. The roads are back on. All right, let's let me touch something very quickly, because this fellas, I think the first thing on health. All right, I know in radio land you can't see, so I'll read it. You know, when these guys talk about $75,000 in medical insurance that they do not know how they're going to fund, up to now they cannot tell you. When you listen to them, there's conflicting messages. Then they tell you, well, you will have to pay, and this will have to be done. And up to now, the fellas are presenting policies that they have not well thought out. And that is in keeping with what Titus said. Titus Prevail said that the leader, Titus this afternoon, I'll have a talk with you. The leader of the party cannot think things through. And more it is becoming more evident. Because you presented a plan for the people and you do not know how you're going to fund it. Every time you take the microphone, it's a different thing. It is, it's for over 65. Everybody will have to pay. Will be a deduction. But this is what we're doing in health. You have to go back. Go up to this start. I mean, we have universal health coverage and essential services offered at no cost. Come down a bit here, because I'm seeing the bottom. We have introduced universal health coverage, and under that program, there are a number of things offered at no cost. Well, there is a cost, not to you, but there is a cost to the taxpayer. I'm not saying the government, to the taxpayer. But you see, the country's finances are so well managed that the Philip J. Pierre, has made allocation. That's the difference between these two fellas. Philip J. Pierre is prudent. I'm almost saying he's fiscally conservative. He knows how to manage money. He's not wasteful. You know what I mean? He's not pocketing anything for himself. The country's money is well accounted for. That's your money. And it cannot be fast and loose with your money. And so, under universal health coverage, listen to those of you out there. What are the essential services that are provided? For breast cancer services, ladies, that's for you. Well, men, you could get breast cancer too, I understand. We can get that, so we have to, touchy-feely. Mammograms, free of cost. Free of cost to you. It's not free. It has to be paid for, but it's free for you. Follow-up ultrasound, because sometimes you could do a mammogram and something can be found. It's free for you. You could get your ultrasound. If there needs to be a biopsy, you refer to the doctor, biopsies are done. And the processing of the biopsy, so, it has to be processed to lead to a diagnosis. All of that is available to you at no cost to you. We're not bluffing you. We're not coming after your $100,000 insurance. I realize time is almost on me there. My God. Woo! Producer. Ladies and gentlemen, I will deal with that next week, Tuesday, because I realize my time has expired. Sorry for that. I mean, I think I talk too much. Shelton, I think your disease is rubbing off on me. All right, buddy. I will be back on Tuesday, God willing, and I will start with the universal health coverage, go into St. Jude, and I'll take it from there. So until, I'll see you this afternoon, Shelton, of course, but until next Tuesday for People First, have a very good Thursday afternoon. Have a good Thursday, not Thursday afternoon. Just your entire day. It's Thankful Thursday. Give thanks for life. Thanks for the government. Thanks for the things that the benefits that we are enjoying. We are enjoying our money. So let's be thankful and grateful. So see you this afternoon and have a very good day. Thank you very much.